Hello Gun Nation, I'm your host BigJohnson. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't considered subscribing, please do. If you like the content, check it out, hit that notification bell, and subscribe. I do live videos, things like that, gun reviews, gear reviews, and I would love you to join the channel. I love interacting with y'all, answering the comments, so if you have any comments, please leave them below. What would you like to see? Was this video entertaining? Let me know. Subscribe. But what we're going to talk about is the Staccato C2 Duo, and is it ready for prime time? We're going to go over likes, dislikes, the ammo I've ran through it, the accessories I've put on it, the lights I've ran on it, how many rounds I've put through it, how many failures I've had, likes, dislikes, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. Again, this is the Staccato C2 Duo. If you're not familiar with the gun, I do have a video, I'll try to add it up below, going over, kind of first impressions, all the stats, things like that. We won't get into it in this video, but if you're not familiar with it, it is a 2011. Small 2011. Double stack, of course, that's what 2011 means versus 1911. It is a full alloy frame. Of course, stainless steel slide, bull barrel. It's like 3.6, 3.7 inches. Grip. We'll get into all of that. The capacity on this one is 16 plus 1. Does come with 3 16 plus 1 mags. These are like a Teflon coated mag. There's your base plate. But let's get into it. So, what are my dislikes? We'll just go over dislikes first. My dislikes, if y'all have followed the channel, you know this. I'm not a big grip safety guy. However, most 1911s, 2011s have that, I understand. I've got rather large hands, XXL hands, so, and this one is clear, so when you rack it, and of course you've got your safety up, and you want to flip down and then ride the safety like a lot of people do, the meat right here sometimes creates a problem for me. It's happened about 3 times. I usually like the extended, the big extended bump safeties, and this one does have one. However, this one doesn't protrude a lot to me, but it does work. So, that's just something that you're probably not going to have to deal with. I do, having large hands. Now, again, with large hands, what about the grip, the length? I've had a lot of people ask, is it too short? It's actually not for me. I've got the undercut right here. You've seen it. That's from the factory, so it is undercut here. I can get 3 fingers on it, and I can still stay within this lip here at the back. So the grip is actually pretty good considering it's a small gun and it's not the P. So that doesn't bother me. Another dislike is the stippling. It's not aggressive at all. Is it bad? No, it's not bad. Can I grip the gun? Yes, I can grip the gun. However, I wish it was more aggressive, kind of like the tree bark. And that's probably something I'm going to consider getting done in the future, is have it stippled. If you can recommend a stipple guy that you like, leave it below, and we'll consider doing that. But that's kind of where I am with it now. Other than that, everything's been great. The sight, the factory is nice. It's got the suppressor type sights, and this is the Duo. It comes with the plate. Now, as far as the optics, what have I done on this one? I did run the HoloSun 507 XC or X2 or whatever it is, and had no issues with it. I ran it for the first 250 rounds just to test it, because my concern was with the SRO, it overhangs the chamber. I'll show you here. You can see how it overhangs right there. I was kind of worried about, and I'll just lock it back to show you, I was kind of worried when it actually comes through and ejects, was that going to be an issue? Could that cause a problem? Well, not so far, but we'll get into the round count and the failures and all the other good stuff. Just to let you know, I have ran, we'll go over the ammo now. I've got it all noted down. I kept a really good documentation of everything. I ran through it and the failures that I had. Okay. On the ammo, I ran 300 rounds of Browning 124 grain full metal jacket. If you haven't seen it, it's in the yellow and black box. I think you could get it at Academy. Now, of course, we're in the ammo crunch of 2020 with the virus. Y'all are aware of that. But I did run 300 rounds of that through the gun. As far as defensive ammo, I ran 20 rounds of the V-Crown, SIG V-Crown. This is the 147 grain. Ran that. More defensive ammo, I ran 50 rounds of Federal HST 124 grain. Not plus P, just 124 grain. I prefer that over plus P personally. 50 rounds of that. Also, I ran an additional 200 rounds of Blazer Brass 124 grain FMJ. So if you add all of that up, that is 570 rounds that I've ran through this gun so far as of today's video. More in the future, but that's what I've ran through it so far. So we'll get into the failures here in just a second. Now, I've also been asked, what lights do I run on it? What lights? You know, it's got the light rail. So I have ran the Surefire 300X, or the X300 Surefire. And this is the U, so it has a little lever. So to put it on, you simply come up, you know, press the little tabs, slide it on, and it locks on there. Has it came off? No. Did the light flicker? No. So I ran it with this, and it runs great. Now you will see, if you have the overhang like this, you will get this on your lights. So see how it's kind of buggering up the little area right there? No big deal, that's from the blast. Then on the front, I actually pre-lube, if you can see that, that's pre-lubed with chapstick. So I pre-lube them, then I go shoot, and your carbon will stick to that and you can wipe it right off. Chapstick works great, just cheap chapstick. Saves your light lens there. And then after I shoot it, I clean it or wipe it off. I don't even clean the gun sometimes. And then reapply it. So there's that. Now as far as another light that I ran on here, let me pop it on here real quick. This one is takes a little bit more time to get on there, but it's not bad. I'll go ahead and give it a couple of turns. And this one is the Streamlight TLR7A, 500 lumens. So there's that. Now this one doesn't, you know, stick past the muzzle, so you really never get any blast from this. So there's really not a reason to use chapstick unless you want to, but there's that. Again, the pistol's unloaded. So there's that. Also, you can see how it attaches on there. If you're curious about all of the keys, I went through every one of them, the keys for the light that go up in here, and I chose the 1913-1. On the top of the key, the little plastic polymer key that you put on there, it says 1913-1. That's the one that actually affixes. It's got a thicker, matter of fact, I'll just take it off real quick to show you in case you're curious. You can choose different keys with different widths and setback and things like that. And I'll show you here on this if it'll zoom in. This right here is exactly the same width as the cut on the STI, so you get no movement. There's a thinner one, and you'll get a little movement even with tightening it up quite a bit. I can tighten this on there, and I get no movement, so there's that. Again, the gun comes with 3 16 round plus 1 in the chamber. Teflon, kind of a Teflon coated. I also have the 140s, the 20 plus 1 additional that I own that I put on there. Now, as far as what I've done to the gun, I've got the SRO 2.5 MOA dot, and again, I told you that I ran the Hollow Sun up to 250 rounds. After that, I switched over to the SRO, had no issues with the ejection, hitting it. That's what I was concerned with. Didn't have a problem with it. As far as the trigger, this is the Gephardt, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Atlas sells it. It's made in Germany, and then they coat it. The first coated one that I had, and I have a video on it, the anodizing, it actually kind of peeled and rubbed right off. This is the new trigger. I haven't had any issues with it at all. So just to let you know, being all up front with you. I really like the way the gun feels in the hand. Some people are like, is it snappier than the P? I have shot the P. I have shot the XC also. I do not own them. I have shot them. This gun, I would say, a tad snappier, if you want to say snappy. However, controllable, yes. No problem there at all. Really like the way it controls. Now, as far as the failures, what failures have I had with it? Out of all of those rounds, 570 rounds, I had one failure. One. And it was a failure to feed. What I did is I loaded the mag, had it loaded up with FMJs, stuck it in the gun. It was in there, didn't fall out, racked it, and went to shoot. Nothing happened. I'm like, what the hell? Trigger, went off. And I was like, did I get a bad round? Popped it, looked in the chamber. Nothing was in there. Put it back in, racked it again, fed and sent it. So that's the only thing. Was it mag related? I don't know. Was it ammo related? No, because it really never fed it. Did I have it seated all the way? I was pretty sure I did. But, like I said, 1 out of 570, who knows? But I document everything so that way you'll know and I'll know for my own purposes. Let's see, how have I maintained it? When I first got the gun, I cleaned it one time to get like the shipping grease off, and there really wasn't any shipping goo or anything in there. But I went ahead and cleaned it just so I could clean it. I could personally oil it the way that I like to oil it, and then I went and shot it. I cleaned it, I shot the first time 250 rounds through it, came back, left it dirty, but I did apply oil to it. So I oiled the dirty gun, not an issue. Then I went and shot about 200 more rounds. And then when we put the trigger in it, broke it down, cleaned it, oiled it, did all of that. And right now it's dirty, and I've already shot in the rest of the rounds through it, totaling 570. After I shot the last rounds through it the other day, I came back and I simply oiled it. So it's dirty, but it's been oiled. So if you want to see the wear, this is 570 rounds of wear. Got a little smile there on the bull barrel. Other than that, there's really no scratches on it. I haven't done a lot of holster wear, I'll be honest with you. I've ran it in like a leg rig, not a Safariland, it's another brand, but kind of a leg rig from the belt. As far as carrying it, I have not carried it yet. And this video is kind of like prime time, but right now, would you carry this with what I've said? Would that work for you? Do you prefer a 2011, 1911, or a striker fire gun? I'd love to hear below. I've got the Tenacord holster, there'll be more on that later. I have another holster coming for inside the waistband, and we'll be doing a little follow-up. But is it ready for prime time? In my opinion, yes. Do I like the gun? Yes, I actually like it a lot. Would I recommend it? Yes. I've had a lot of questions like, how does it compare to a Shadow 2 or a TSO or P10C? Those are all different types of guns. I would say it's a great carry gun, probably a good battle type gun, good tactical type gun. I'm really enjoying it. It's got the undercut kind of from the factory, so here's my hand on it again. A lot of people want to know if I can get a full grip. Yes, I can. That one failure to feed, who knows what happened? Like I said, it's only happened one time. Do I have faith in it? Yes. Is it ready for prime time in my opinion? Absolutely. So I hope this helps. If you have any other questions, please leave them below. Let me know what you like. Like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate all of you. And remember, an unarmed nation is a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on.